Let me just start off by saying that if I had my own symbiote, it would probably spiral into depression because I would just have it like cleaning up my room and changing diapers while I posed action figures and played video games. My symbiote would probably need like a therapist. At least I wouldn't like risk its life. I'm not like saving the world or anything like that. I'll let the real superheroes do that. It would just be wiping ass cheeks all day because why not? Anyways, all jokes aside, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends retro carded Walmart exclusive 85th anniversary Venom. I know there are probably about 50 other reviews online by this point, but I still decided to open this figure up, give you guys my personal take on this because this is an incredibly divisive action figure. Now, as an FYI, I am comparing it to the Amazon 3-pack Venom, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the newest iteration of Venom, or at least the latest iteration of the character. I believe at first glimpse, you may be a little bit disoriented and just assume that the only real difference here is the fact that the Amazon exclusive comes with the half Venom, half Eddie Brock head sculpt where he's like mid-transformation. It's a beautiful head sculpt, and it's probably my favorite Venomized head sculpt ever, but that one was exclusive to the Amazon 3-pack. The other version, or I should say the Walmart exclusive version, will come with that McFarlane or first appearance style head sculpt. Not my favorite, but if you're looking for a first appearance accurate head sculpt, I believe that's kind of the one that you would go for. However, the head sculpt that it originally comes with, the one with the extended tongue, is the exact same head sculpt on either figure. So you will be getting the same one whether you buy the Amazon 3-pack or whether you buy the Walmart exclusive one. The only real difference is going to be the paint job. The newer version has like a pinkish hue. I guess it's a little bit more realistic, a little bit more matte, whereas in the original or the Amazon 3-pack exclusive one is like it's a brighter red. So it looks like he has gum disease. It really is a matter of personal perspective. If it really bothered you that much, I guess you have an alternate head sculpt now. The articulation scheme is supposed to be the same aside from that like floating ball joint or that floating torso on top of what is already a hinge, which the Amazon exclusive has, but it does not have that ball joint or that floating torso as a lot of people refer to it. The butterfly joints are exactly the same. Double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, a swivel at the upper thigh, and then a swivel at the upper arm. All of this is the exact same because it's the exact same body sculpt. It's a little bit beefy, it's a little bit bulky, and so even though it does have double jointed knees and elbows, the articulation is somewhat limited or somewhat hindered because of the figure being so thick in certain areas. It's really muscular. It has a lot of definition, which is really cool. I mean, if you're looking for a big beefed up version of Venom, this is the perfect figure to pick up. The articulation has never really been that much of a problem, I think, for most of us. The one big difference that you'll notice, by the way, the hands are the exact same as well. So that extra articulation at the ab really helps, and you'll be able to notice when it's in crouching position. So the Amazon exclusive would have to turn the entire upper torso or the upper body, whereas in the newer one would turn at closer to like the chest area. So it's a kind of like a more realistic way that a human being would articulate or move around or pose, whereas in the Amazon exclusive one it feels a little bit more action figure. I don't know if that makes any sense and if that really makes any difference, but the Walmart one definitely has a more natural feel to it. But the biggest talking point, at least in my personal opinion, has to be that ball joint at the neck. Now, just to break down the differences, the original Amazon 3-pack exclusive, that one has a ball joint, and then the other side of the ball joint, I'm assuming, goes into the torso, and then it has a forward and backward hinge. Really helps with articulation. I had no problems there. The figure could look up and down and had phenomenal tilt. It was just really well done, really well designed. I would say like 99% of the figures from Hasbro should have this type of tech, but the newer Walmart exclusive retro carded Venom does not have that forward and backwards hinge. It essentially just has a ball joint coming out of the torso, and even that has no give, so it's essentially just set in place, and it really limits the head articulation. It's absolutely insane the big difference that something that simple can make. And it makes absolutely no sense from my personal point of view. I mean, if you're looking at a figure that is supposed to be an upgrade over the previous figure, why give us a variation of different features, right? They did the same thing with like some of the newer Spider-Man body molds, where sometimes we'll get like a really old 5 to 6 year old Spider-Man body mold instead of getting the newer Renew Your Vows body mold. They even sprinkle on the body mold that we got before the Renew Your Vows, which I believe was like that retro carded animated body mold with that ball joint and the hinge at the waist, but no butterfly joints. So it really makes absolutely no sense, in my personal opinion, that they keep reverting back to old technology or mix and matching between two different eras of action figures. We might get an upgrade in one particular feature of the figure, but then get a downgrade somewhere else. It makes absolutely no sense, in my personal opinion. This is unacceptable, in my personal opinion. Now, is the figure worth picking up? I think if this is your first Venom, or if you haven't picked up a Venom in quite some time, this may be like the standard going forward, but it's really difficult to say because of that ball joint at the neck. Now, in my personal opinion, what's the perfect version of Venom? And obviously, I'm going to keep a lot of things in mind, the budgetary constraints that Hasbro may have, the fact that they need to keep this at a reasonable price, obviously, but it's very simplistic. I would love to see that forward and backwards hinge on that ball joint at the head. Maybe they could cut a little bit more with that butterfly joint going forward. I know the backwards is phenomenal, but they were a little bit afraid of cutting the front part of the torso a little bit too much, but it would really help with articulation, and keep the two sections of articulation, the hinge and the ball joint, at the mid torso, and then obviously the pinless tech, right? I don't think it's that outlandish. It's a body mold that they already have. They just have to make those minor little adjustments. And honestly, I'm very disappointed in Hasbro. This was a great opportunity for them to really give us like the go-to Marvel Legends Venom. Like, this would be the end-all versions of Venom, but that's not the case at all. I think it's kind of just like a minor upgrade, but is it really an upgrade if it's downgrading another feature? I don't know. It's really perplexing, at least from my point of view. If I had to give this figure a rating, I don't like giving ratings, but if I did, I would say it's like a solid 7. It's not the worst figure ever. The head articulation is going to be limited, but that mid-torso, it's really cool. I mean, it helps with the posability, especially if you're big on photographs, or if you just like your figure to look great in display. This is the figure to go to, but like I said, it's not a perfect figure. I would say it's like a really high 7, like a 7.8. Very disappointing. Unlike the retro carded Carnage, where it's essentially the same figure, yes, same articulation scheme, same sculpt work, but at least you get 2 extra weapon accessories that you did not have before that are interchangeable between both Carnages. At least that added value to the figure, on top of it having a new head sculpt. You don't get that here. You do get 1 extra head sculpt. The other one just has a slightly different paint job. But again, this is just my personal opinion. I don't think this is a perfect Venom. It definitely comes with a bunch of issues that I think Hasbro could have easily fixed. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you going to pick this one up? Did you already pick it up? What are your concerns? Are you excited about the future of Hasbro Marvel Legends? Let me know your comments down below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, make sure to enjoy the hobby. That's the most important part of all this. Stay safe out there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.